Everyone, today I finished reading Dune, the first book of the six that Frank Herbert wrote, and I must say I'm mind blown. This literally is the best fiction book I've read this whole year. In fact, I think it's going to be my best fiction book in all time. I think so far it used to be only like the Harry Potter series because I read that when I was a child and Harry Potter was literally my childhood. But I feel like Dune is going to be up there with that. So if someone now asks me, hey, which is your favorite fiction book? I'm going to say I have two, the Harry Potter series and Dune. I haven't yet read the other books. I just finished the first book today. And I thought I'd just share, the different aspects of the book that I really enjoyed without revealing too much, without giving any spoilers. I'm going to try. Well, for starters, I think the way Frank Herbert has created the Dune universe, it's it's mind-boggling because you can see very clearly that he has sort of planned it out in its entirety, right from book one to book six. At least that's what it looks like when you read book one. And like the characters are so sophisticated. Like each and every character is like a distinct person, which is I find it's not as common, especially when you have like a lot of characters, right? And the second thing was like it. I feel like it takes sci-fi to a different level because we are talking about like 20,000 years into the future, and he's able to build this world in your eyes where humans are on various planets and interplanetary travel is possible. And it's not just galaxies anymore. It's like you can traverse through the entire universe. And he builds that sort of really beautifully. And I think personally, my favorite construct in the book are the people known as Bene Gesserit. I'm a sucker for like proper women, superhuman women, because I just relate to it a lot more whenever I read or even watch like movies that have main women characters. Then I get all pumped up and I'm like, oh, I can relate to these people and I can somehow see myself in them. And the Bene Gesserit are like an interesting bunch. They're obviously extremely strong women, but they're also extremely intelligent, extremely like it's not just their superhuman abilities is what I'm trying to say. It's also their like it's also their brains that are so highly trained, and it's like I feel like I haven't seen this brand of women created in any other novel or movie so far, at least not the ones I've read or watched. And I loved how the author sort of creates the world of Arrakis. And I don't think this is like a spoiler. So it's basically Dune. Dune is Arrakis, which is like the desert planet where all of this is set. The whole story is set, and I love the way he describes this planet. Initially, you're like, what the hell is this planet? It's like the shithole, but as the story progresses, you're like, oh my god, I love this planet because it's so rich and there's so many things to it. I feel like he manages to sort of make us fans of everything that we think is shitty on the planet. And I'm going to leave it at that. I won't describe anymore so that I don't give away stuff in case you want to read the book on your own. Oh, by the way, the movie was the Dune 2020 movie, which was supposed to release, well, in 2020, in December, is now going to be released in October 2021. I'm a little bummed about that because this whole thing of wanting to read the book started with a trailer, with knowing that this movie is going to be released in December, and I was like, hey, I want to know what this is all about before it's released. But apparently, that's going to happen in October 2021. But that also gives me a lot of, oh wow, that's an airplane, super loud. But that also gives me a lot of time to read the rest of the books, so that's good. And oh my god, the Bene Gesserit litany against fear. I had heard the litany like many years ago. I think Steve Pavlina mentions it in his blog, so that's when I was introduced to it. And on its own, also, it's so poetic, it's so beautiful, and it stands. But in the context of the book, it just sends a sends a chill down your spine. At least it did for me. And I think I've mentioned it in one of the private forums that I'm a part of. To me, it's as sacred and as important as Invictus, the poem, because of just how much the verses can do for me at a mental level, how I can say something to myself and immediately I'm in a different state, right? So I'd highly encourage you to like read it, memorize it, tattoo it on your brain. Like it's really beautiful. You should read that. I'll probably ramble a lot more about this book once I've collected my thoughts on it. I finished it like just literally an hour ago, so I'm very much in the book right now, still living out everything scene after scene in my mind. It's one of those books that really lingers on, and you keep thinking about it over and over. The series is pretty large. It's 2,700 words. I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the quarter, but it took me about 20 days to finish book one, which is about 600 pages. So I don't know how much long it's going to take for me to finish the rest of the books. But but yeah, I it's left me asking for more. I'm like, what is going to happen in the next book? This book's ended on this note, and there's so many things, so many directions the story could go, and I'm really curious to figure out for myself which direction Frank Herbert decided to take them in. So that's it for today. I'll see if I want to create more videos on Dune. Stay tuned.